Welcome back, viewers. This is another episode of the Teens Doing Great Things Show. Familiar faces.
Oh, very, very, very familiar faces.
Mr. Sir.
Calvin Metunji here for you.
Is that what?
Kenja.
Kenja.
Anyway, we come back to you with what we promised, what we are here to deliver. We are here to help you grow. Mr. Content Creator was very clear about that last time. Grow mentally, grow physically. That is why we're here for you. This is what the TDGT Show is here to do. So today, for starters, we're going to talk about one of the things that we all go through as teenagers. It's a compulsory step in the life of teenagers. Not compulsory.
But we continue. We move regardless.
I don't know what you're thinking, but the topic is actually academics. It's academics. So most of you here, these are
What?
some of them are retired learners, students. Some of you are continuing.
The fact is, we are talking about who continuing.
Continuing.
Calvin Mutunji,
Chichi.
tell us.
Chichi.
Do you have plans to continue?
Of continuing?
studies? You should be exemplary. Yes, he does.
We're not here to tell you to drop out. In fact, we are here to tell you to stay in school. You know the message: stay in school, don't do drugs. Yeah. So academics, it's something you all have to go through. It's if you are going to get knowledge, if you're going to get any kind of learning from anywhere, you have to go through this stage in life. It's very important for all of us. Sure. Yeah. So what's next? How far do you think you want to go with your academics? You know, people tend to think, well, I'm going to go through high school, study my bachelor's, and that will be it.
Do you know the biggest thing that we all have questions? Yes, we study. Then what?
Then what?
Then what? We've studied. Then what? What happens after?
Have you seen my wallet?
Now that's the thing. That's the category of some of us. Some people study and it gets them money.
Side.
So far, your academics,
Yeah.
what has it contributed to your wallet?
To your wallet.
See, we're studying so that we hope it contributes something.
Yeah, but you say
that's
in your
exactly.
wallet.
It's empty.
It's hopeful.
It's hoping.
But it's very
It's hopeful,
hopeful.
but it's very hopeful that's why I continue to pursue the academic career. Anyway, that's the African thing as
we'll
know
be
it.
there on our own chill. And we have this hope. We'll be opportunistic.
Oh my God.
It's okay.
No, optimistic. Correct me. That's why we study. Correct me. What's the
Middle student.
Good. That was like a
Easy.
guys.
Yeah, learning is part of it.
That's why we're in school.
That's why the topic is academic. So the plan is we study so that we have hope that our wallets are going to be full. That's one of the reasons, because you're looking at getting a profession that's going to pay you highly or maybe serve people, right?
Yeah.
But is money the only reason?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's part of the what? The reason.
At the end of the day, we all want money. From studying, I don't study for prestige. I don't think people still do that. To say,
I mean, okay,
well, I'm in school because I want to be known as a doctor. I mean, you can study, be a doctor, and what happens? You mess up and maybe lose your license or.
True.
So, I think what drives people to study, I think, is that need of knowing I want to be in a comfortable position in the future to know I can actually support, if I have a family, I can support my family.
And that's what our parents tell us. They be like, I am able to support you, I'm able to provide for you because I went to school.
And that is why they emphasize that you should also stay in school.
Okay, I've been having this thing that's bothering me. Why do many people, professionals, parents, teachers, lecturers, call the whole academic thing an investment?
Yeah. So why do parents say education is an investment? First of all, we have to look at their days. In their days, you go to school. If you are not able to get into Makerere University, you're done. That's a fact. Makerere University was the only university they had. So then they knew it's a direct line. It was like 8 years, African tradition. So you just move, you go to school, get a job, get money, have kids. And that's it, You understand? But then now it's different.
If it's not Makerere, it's not.
Exactly.
Yeah,
If it's not Makerere, it's not. Now, no offense, even if I don't get 20 points, I can get into a university I can get into a good university. These days, I don't even need a degree. I just need a business mind. You understand? Those days, they didn't have that opportunity. I'm going to venture out, start my own business. Nah. They didn't have that. So naturally, we have to be the unskilled. Like, be the standout generation. We're the ones who are doing things differently.
Okay, so that's the reason why it's an investment.
Exactly.
Okay, but
no, but I also look at it in a way that it's an investment because right now they're the ones, catering for you. All your efforts in school are because they actually paid for you to be in school. But after you're done, they expect that the money they spent on you is actually being, multiplied. So that you've gotten into a good career and now you're able to actually take care of them. Because there will be a point when your parents are not able to,
exactly. An investment you put in and you expect something in return.
I think it's more of different views. Because in my opinion, I feel like once you get done with school and you've actually successfully purchased your education, you're going to get into this line of easy money. That's what I think they assume it's an investment, because you're going to become a lawyer and people are going to be looking for you. You're going to become a doctor and people are going to be looking for you. That's money coming to you. So I feel like it's an investment because of that reason.
But you see where they're coming from. Back then there were jobs. Okay. Back then it was. If you see, for them, the reason why they say it's an investment is that it worked out for them.
Exactly.
You understand? It worked out for them. That they went to school and got their jobs to take care of.
And back then, you could only be a lawyer, a doctor, an engineer. These days, you can be a DJ.
Can be anything.
You can be
actress.
Shout out to our man Tazan behind the camera. I think you can see.
Yes, sir.
He's called the Tazo guy.
That is it.
So moving on, Isabel, about education. See, this country in particular tends to emphasize girl-child education. What do you think is the motive? What do you think they base on?
I mean, I feel like our parents, they have this thing. Okay, personally, my mom gave me a statement. She said, an educated girl is useless. They have this thing where she always emphasized, is if you don't study, a man is going to look at you like a tool. He's going to see you and just think, she's going to be a housewife. She's going to just do what I want. So she pushes me to study, so I have, let me say, something to bring to the table.
That's beautiful.
So you be there, I don't cook, I don't clean.
Independent girls are attractive.
No, it's not. But let me tell you, if that whole mentality about being independent it should also change. Because if you're independent, everything is going to be by yourself. But then you saying you're going to bring something to the table doesn't mean you're independent. It means you're working together.
Do you know where I'm coming from?
I know, but
do you know where I'm coming from?
The word independent does not sound like a woman I would want.
Why not?
I would want a woman. Listen, now let's go. It's in the line of education.
What are you educating us now?
What I'm educating is something very simple. Maybe you guys do not understand.
You said you don't
independence.
Want...
Listen. An independent woman is going to be this person who's going to limit you from doing certain things for her. Yet you would want to do them, not because of you undermining her or something.
Organza Mulao.
Let me tell you. Listen. We're talking about educating child education, and he brought up something about independent women. Being educated does not mean you have to necessarily have that term on you. You understand? Me, I'm thinking about education that develops teamwork.
Okay.
Yeah, we go to schools and one of the core values in the school is teamwork, integrity, and hard work. So maybe if you say a hardworking woman who's going to do some things, like she used the right word.
Back then, a woman was looked at as hardworking. It's hardworking that was very important back then. So right now they're trying to change the trend.
The norm.
Exactly. Look women that are not.
Men would look for women that are hardworking.
Exactly.
Right now, trend has changed. They look for attractive women.
Let me tell you why I would want my daughters to be independent. Yeah, is that you see, if they can provide, if they can make their own hair, then any ruckus guy can just come and pick them up, and they are swayed by the little monies, you know, that they're just getting at that time.
Yeah.
But if they're independent, you know, they can discern, they can know that I've fallen for this guy because I like him, but not because he's spending on me.
But that's I agree with that. But then I don't think putting something on the table is necessarily being independent.
Might say
it comes along, but then it's not exactly that.
the whole point is we're trying to kill that thing of dependent women.
Yeah.
Whereby a woman stays with a man and despite the fact that he beats her,
Exactly.
alcoholic,
Exactly.
she will stay there because she's not educated. She is illiterate, so she's independent.
That makes her independent.
Well,
Like maybe educate me.
Educating a girl actually goes beyond teaching her chemistry, biology. Rights are part of what, you know, I feel is a thing that maybe the education sector didn't look at, but educating people about their rights and, you know, that's also. So a woman who's going to school actually knows her rights, actually knows what's right and not right.
Exactly.
You see, back then I feel like women would, you know, be harassed but because the norm says the man is superior, it will be okay. Because you're not going to go to crying house and say, my husband beat me up, he's your husband. For them, that was, you know,
The norm.
so I feel like educating them and actually making them know that this is actually not supposed to happen is also part of educating the girl child. Yeah. So also in line of what I think the education system then do, especially for the younger, you know, teenagers especially, because there's that whole stage of adolescence and people don't get that. They don't get educated.
Puberty.
The talk.
That they don't get that talk.
That talk. Yes, better. But I feel like we all went through that talk. But according to the way things were in school, no, let me just. Your senior man, your senior woman, people give you that talk because you grew up and you started realizing, man, things are changing. Calvin grew up and like, man, their beards on my chin. What's up? What's
Things you used to see on TV.
People's voices became deep. You understand? You understand what I'm saying? People started growing. You understand? People started growing. Just so, man, things were changing. So we had to understand what was going on. And our school system, they thought, okay, they tried to help us,
Sure.
but they didn't give us the real essentials of what sex education should actually be.
Yeah.
You understand? We learned the reproductive system. They give us the basics.
Yeah, things you use in exams and move on. But
They told us these are girls' parts, these are boys' parts. Don't touch this, don't touch
They
that.
call them bad touch.
Private
Use
parts.
that.
They don't do bad
they call
touch.
them private parts.
And you also
Private
don't
bad touches. Deep thinking.
Deep thinking. Anyway, but yeah, that's also part of what the system. And I feel, yes, parents actually have the primary role of giving you that role.
True.
Yeah. But I feel like if the school system actually promoted it to a certain extent, it didn't have to be, you know, very too much like you do it all the time, but you can spare time and maybe
Once in a while.
Once in a while. Because these are changes people go through. Because if I'm in a boarding school and I start, you know, experiencing these changes while in school, I'm not going to call my mother and tell her, yo, this is happening. Yeah, you get. Because for some people who don't actually, because the people who actually have zero knowledge about these things.
Exactly.
So it's going to happen and she's going to think, what is happening? She'll think, maybe I'm probably sick.
And another issue is people are teaching, the schools were teaching more ignorance on the facts. And then when you go to deeper things like sex, they'll teach more abstinence instead of like focusing on how you can make it better. You understand? This is the society we live in. People, no, let me explain.
That's why we need a brown girl.
Let me explain. People shouldn't pretend that those things are not there. They are there.
This is the part where we
You
talk
go and
about-
ask daddy
we
how.
talk about transformed minds, right?
Exactly. Go and ask daddy how babies were formed. You understand?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, we'll resume from there, but
The Nobel guy tackled a sensitive guy. Where we shall start from?
Well, put a pin on that for now.
right after the break.
Where to use it? I kinda.